And first of all, I'm glad when I see you at the first moment I step in the classroom, because there are not many people here, so that I won't feel embarrassed if I fail my speech. And second, I forgot what's the second point. And second, the purpose of my speech is to calm down every one of you after the astonishing speech that made by the former speakers. And I won't tell you what is the topic of my speech, because Jason just told me we can never tell the audience what we're going to talk about. So let's just get in my speech directly. How to use it? Yes, I always believe that what kind of person you are depends on what you think when seeing these pictures. Kevin, what do you think when you see this picture?
Beautiful lady?
No, that's not my focus. I will emphasize on the content of the news that is displayed on the screen. My topic will start off from 三宝饭. 三宝饭. Yes. 三宝饭 is one of the most popular and affordable dish for Tainan citizens. And as for me, in the past, one day I invited my new colleague in company for lunch. And when we walked into the restaurant, I just ordered a 三宝饭 at the price of $90. And she only ordered a cup of soup and with some meatballs. And I just told to her, don't go too far on diet. And you know what is her response? She just said, I just can't afford for lunch. So that's why I just ordered a soup, which is more cheaper than 三宝饭. That is a real story from Business Weekly magazine. So let's see what the problem is. Why the graduates in the society that cannot afford a meal in Taipei? Sorry? The first point is the low salary. Try to imagine a young man that is just graduated from university and he came to Taipei for finding a job just like the other young men did. And he finally got a job with a pay and it's 22,000 a week, including 8,000 for rent and 1,500 for the transportation back to his hometown, and including 1,000 for electricity and the water charges, and including $1,500 for the transportation on MRT or bus. Let's see how much he left in his salary. It's $333 a day. That's the only money he can dominate. So let's show proofs how the citizens they are suffering from the pains of economic depression. And the second point is the injustice tax system in our society. We can see from the pictures. Some said tax day is that ordinary Taiwanese send their money to Taipei, while the wealthy Taiwanese send their money to Cayman Islands. We can see from the pictures that middle class and the poor bears almost 40% of the income tax, while the rich one only bears 10% of it. Is it unfair? Do you know why? Because the incomes of the rich, most of their incomes comes from the stock returns and rent incomes and real property gains, which are tax-free. But the incomes of a middle class mostly comes from their salary that they have to pay for the tax. So that's the injustice tax system in this society. And the third point, we got low pay low salary, low level salary in Taiwan's society, and we have low birth rate and low leisure time, but we got one high. You guess what? No, longer working hours. I think no one likes to work overtime. If someone does, he must be forced to do it, or he just have to thank God for having a fierce wife. So that Maxie works all day. And we all hope for a balanced life between our work and our family time. We're eager to spend our weekends with people we love and play with a dog or play throw and catch in the park under the afternoon sunshine. But back to reality, unfortunately, a Taiwanese employee who had worked 18 hours a day died from overwork, reported by CNN News, which attracted the eyes from the world and also shows the injustice on workplace and the long working hours phenomenon in Taiwan. And the fourth point is the rising unemployment rate, which makes us feel, at first, it's a good healthy man, and then become this, and in the end, we become this. So the rising unemployment rate makes us afraid of getting fired, so we just keep doing our work all the day. That makes us like a rat running in a cage. The money we make is always not enough for living. So come to conclusion, the 4 points I mentioned, the first, low salary and heavy tax and long working hours and the fears of getting fired, makes us have to work every day, but the only thing we can make is to make the ends meet. There is no more money for fulfilling our dreams, for retiring. So that's why we work in a long time. There is a bonus question. Do you know how much does it cost for an ordinary life? Does anyone know? Richard? Just guess. 10,000 in your whole life? Yeah, in your whole life. Okay, thanks for your answer. Let me show you how much we need in our whole life. At first, you need a car. You have to buy a car, and the cheapest car, Toyota, it costs about 600,000 for each car. And in your whole life, you may have to buy 2 cars because the car will be damaged in 20 years. And for safety, you have to buy a new car in every 10 to 20 years. So a car costs 600,000. You need 2 in your life. That is, how much is it? 1.2 million. It's 1.2 million. And how much does it cost to raise a kid? According to the statistics, it costs about 12 million. 12 million to raise a kid from kindergarten to the university. It costs 12 million. And if you have 2 kids, it costs 24 million. And how about the house? The cheapest house in Taipei is approximately cost about 8 million. 8 million. You cannot afford a very nice house if you have only 8 million. So it's 8 million. And how about the health care for your parents? If you are married, you have 4 parents. So you have to, and you have 4 parents, and you have to pay 10,000 for them, and 12 months, a year, and if late, the 20 years after their retirees. So you will pay 6.9 million. And for a living, for you and your husband or your wife, if every one of you costs 1.5 thousand, two people, and if you live 70 years, it costs about 25.2 million. Oh, just jump to the conclusion because we don't have much time. It's 70.4 million in your life. If your husband or wife bears this burden with you, share this burden with you, each one of you have to make, how much is it? 117,000 a month. Is it possible? Is it possible for us to earn 117,000 a month for an ordinary life? I think the answer is no. Because we could not have this kind of incomes when we was 25 until we are 50. Actually, the reality is we got 22,000 and it will rise up to about 60,000 when we are getting old. So that's the problem. There are always not enough money for the living. From the slideshows, we can see that there are two ways. From your home to school, to NCKU. Which one would you choose? A or B? A, yeah, everyone will choose A. But what if there are a lot of traffic lights on your way to school? Which will you choose? I think it depends. But for most people, we will choose B. Because there are no traffic lights, it will take shortened time to go to school. So that shows that we shouldn't depend on what the teachers told us, or what our classmates told us, or what the media told us. Sometimes there are a lot of problems that is hidden behind the news, behind the information, so we cannot conclude from the appearance we look. We just talked about how much money we need for an ordinary life, and I think we need a change in our life, but also in financial education for our kids, and we need a change in our spending habits, and we should not depend on others' help or government's help to create a better life. We should depend on ourselves and find a shortcut to a successful life and making fortunes. So that's my speech today. And I will tell more in my C3 speech. And thanks for your listening.